work. And what I discovered over the years was that whenever something was needed, I could do it even if people hadn't taught me how. I think the first major experience with that came when a shamanic healer who was teaching a workshop in Tucson that I attended took me aside afterwards and he said, "Jerry, has anyone taught you how to open up the pelvis of a laboring woman?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Oh, well, I'll teach you. You've got to know that." And then he didn't. Well, a couple weeks later, I had a woman who was coming in with a vaginal birth, or trying to have a vaginal birth after cesarean section. Turns out she had had a C-section with her first baby that was 7.5 pounds because the baby was, according to her doctor, too big to fit through her pelvis. So this lady came in for an induction, and at that point, we had already progressed to the point where I was offering energy healing to my patients. So I went into the room, chatted with her, and offered her healing, which I did. And when I got to the point where my hands were over her abdomen, I wasn't even thinking about it. In fact, I was kind of zoned out, which often happened when I did healings in the hospital or anywhere else. So I would close my eyes, and I always felt like my spirit was somewhere up in the sky, just kind of looking down at me enough to keep me on my feet and tell me when to move my hands. And without any forethought, all of a sudden I noticed that my hands were over her pelvis and they were pulling, and it was like I was grabbing energy lines and pulling them open. And with no teaching from my friend Clinton, who never got around to it, the fact that my body, mind, spirit had been told it was possible was enough that I was able to just spontaneously do whatever this thing was. And about 2 hours later, this lady pushed out a baby that was over 10 pounds.
Oh.
So, and over the years, I discovered in more and more situations that the more I believed that something was possible, the more able I was, whether I had learned techniques. And the more I studied various techniques, which included becoming a Reiki master teacher and studying healing touch and therapeutic touch and shamanic healing and a number of other modalities, what I discovered was that the most valuable thing for me from the workshops was not the techniques that I learned, but it was learning what was possible, what could be done energetically. And then sometimes I'd use their techniques, but more often my body would just sort of bring in the movements that worked for me with the intent to do whatever their technique supposedly did. And actually my second book is called Healing is Believing, because the thing that I learned over the years is that intent and belief are the driving of all healing, whether you're doing energy work as I do, or whether you're experiencing Western medical treatments. The more you believe in what you're receiving, the more likely it is to work. So I think the most dramatic experience I had that demonstrated how important intent and belief are, not only of the patient, but to me, were back when I was living in New Mexico in about, it would have been 2003. And I had a good friend named Rip, who was actually my horseshoer. He and his wife had become very good friends. And Rip was only 60 years old, but he looked like he was about 80. And I found that over the months, each time he came to trim my horse's hooves, he looked more tired and just kind of sunken. And his face was skinny and wrinkled. And after each hoof, I would find him putting his arm